If you want to know how I made this A-line dress with a cut together cup sleeve with just 2 yards of fabric, then watch this video till the end. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'll be using 2 yards of fabric for this dress. So the first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric in 4. That's in 4 fold, because we'll be cutting the front and the back together, and the back does not require a zipper allowance, so you don't need to cut the back separately, or you don't need to keep or have any zipper allowance. The next thing I'll go ahead to do is to mark a straight line at the base. This will serve as my measuring starting point. I'll be taking all my vertical measurements from that point. So the next thing I'll do is to mark out my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 14 inches. I'll divide that by 2 and I'll go ahead to mark 7 inches on that line. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead to further replicate that 7 inches a little bit lower than where I'd marked it, and I'll just go ahead to mark out my armhole length measurement. I'll be using 10 inches for my armhole because I want it to be a bit wider, just like it is in the picture I'm using to replicate this style from. So the next thing I would go ahead to do is to connect the measurements together. That is my shoulder measurement and my armhole length measurement. So I'm just confirming if I'm marking on the right side of the fabric, because the right side and the wrong side looks a bit alike. So after doing that, the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to mark out my sleeve length and my shoulder slope. So at this point, I'll just go ahead to mark out 3.5 inches or 4 inches for my sleeve length. That's for the cup sleeve. I'll go ahead to mark out 4 inches, just like that. And after marking out 4 inches, then I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder slope on the sleeve length measurement. So mark your shoulder slope, that's 1 inches down. Then mark 3 inches on your neck measurement, and just go ahead to connect it to that 3 inches that you marked earlier. So connect it like that, which will serve as your shoulder slope. So the next thing you're going to do now is to go ahead to mark out your bust measurement, your bust divided by 4. You add 1 inches for your ease allowance and 1 inches extra for your sewing allowance. So I'd gone ahead to mark my measurements just like you see me do, and after doing that, I will just go ahead to connect it together with my armhole measurement. So the next thing I will go ahead to do is to go ahead to mark my waist measurement, and it's not really needed, but I want to mark out my hip length, so that's why I'm just marking out my waist measurement. So you need your hip measurements to get the appropriate amount of fullness at the lower part. So after getting my hip length, I'll go ahead to mark out my hip circumference measurement on that place. So my hip divided by 4, I'll go ahead to add the necessary allowance. I added 2 inches. I added 2 inches allowance, which makes it 4 in total, because I will have 2 at the right side and 2 on the left side, which is just appropriate for what I need and for the amount of fabric that I'm using for this A-line dress. So what the next thing I'm going to do is to connect my bust measurement to the hip measurement that I had marked earlier, and then go ahead to curve out my armhole just like this. This is just the normal way to cover up your armhole. Then now connect your sleeve length to your curved armhole just like this. Just connect it like this, straight, and at the lower part just curve it out like this, and this is your cut together cup sleeve. So the next thing I will go ahead to do is to add my allowance, because I will be turning the hem side of the sleeve with bias. Next, I'll go ahead to mark out my neck measurement. I'll be using 4 inches for the wideness of the neck, and for the front I'll be using 4.5 inches for the depth. By the time I turn it out with my bias, it will become 5 inches, and I'll be using 2 inches for the back depth. Thank you guys for watching. If you are still watching this video, thank you for watching, and thank you very much for keeping us engaged. If you've not subscribed, this is the right time to subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn your notification bell on, so whenever I post a video, YouTube will get you notified and you can watch the video. And if you've subscribed and you've turned your notification bell on, thank you very much. You guys are the best. So the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to add my allowance to my shoulder and sleeve extension. Please make sure you add your allowance, because you don't want to have a misplaced off measurement. So add your allowance to your shoulder measurement and to your sleeve measurement. That will serve as the joining measurement. So after adding the allowance, I will then go ahead to cut this out. And depending on the kind of fabric you are using, the style we are copying this from, I think they used a crepe fabric, something very flowy, but I'm using a chiffon fabric. I think it's called chiffon crepe, I really don't know, but it has a chiffon texture, so I have to be very careful so it won't slip out. So next is to go ahead to cut your neck measurement. Cut the front part first, then take out the back part rather. Cut the back first and then take it out before cutting your front measurement. So the next thing I'll go ahead to do is to join the shoulders and also turn the neckline with bias and the sleeve hem with bias. So I went ahead to turn the neck and the sleeve with bias, just like you see. I've turned it out already, and this is what the sleeve looks like. I'll go ahead to join the sides of the dress together. Next, we'll go ahead to prepare our gathered fabric. So this is the piece of fabric I'll be using for the lower part of the dress, which is the gathers, and I tried all my best to manage these 2 yards. So I went ahead to join the sides first, because I want the sides of the lower parts to be even with the upper part of the dress. So I went ahead to join the side, then I'll go ahead to gather the rest of it. So after putting the gathers together, the next thing to do is to join. So I went ahead to join it already. Here you can see the gathers is not very full, but it's still effective. The dress is ready now, and I can put this on. I'll just go ahead to get my belt ready, just attach pieces of fabric to make a very long rope, and that will be that'll be all for this dress. And now I'll go ahead to hem this lower part. Don't forget to hem. You can also decide to weave if you don't want to hem it. I hemmed mine. I didn't want to weave it. I hemmed the lower part, and this is what it turned out to look like. This is my dress. I hope I managed my fabric, my 2 yards of fabric very well. I think I did. I think I really managed it well, and I love the outcome of the dress. It's so simple, so easy to wear, very comfortable, very free, and also stylish as well. It's also stylish. I'll be making this in other prints and other colors, but I'll not be using 2 yards of fabric. I'll be using more than 2 yards of fabric. Thank you guys for watching this video. Bye.